I grew up on a farm south of Lidgerwood, which is right by the South Dakota border. 1,500 acre farm at that time. My family grew wheat, barley, sunflowers, then later on began to start planting soybeans as I got older. There was no doubt in my mind back in school I was going to be a farmer. I took every opportunity I could to miss class if I could. I'd say, "Dad, don't you need a truck driver today? Don't you need someone to run the combine?" And I remember them picking me up at the school saying, "You're going to regret skipping school someday to come out to the farm," but I just loved it. I lived it, and that was always going to be my plans when I graduated from high school. I'm going to say back in the early 90s, I had bought 80 acres of land. It was land that hadn't been farmed for, they called it virgin soil when I bought it. So I broke up about 55 acres of it and planted a crop on it, and my brother's now renting it from me. Plus I own 300 acres with my brother that we bought about 15 years ago. So I still go back home and I help plant the crops, I help harvest the crops. I call it my stress reduction.
Life growing up here, I had two older sisters. It was a great lifestyle, just a lot of outdoor activities besides obviously working on the farm. I enjoy the challenges and the diversity throughout the growing season. You're always doing something different between planting, spraying, harvesting. There's always, it's not monotonous as far as you're doing the same thing every day over and over. Well, there's many variables each year, mainly weather-wise, obviously, not only here but throughout the world that can affect the market, but your production as well can be affected by a number of things. Too much rain, not enough rain, hail, windstorms. There's many factors that we face every day that we have no control over. So with insurance, that is kind of the base foundation of where the farming operation starts. Oh, it's extremely important that your insurance group understands farming as well as you do, if not maybe even better as far as from a risk standpoint. And they need to understand where you're sitting at as far as what you're comfortable with from a risk standpoint, and just kind of what fits your operation the best.
It seems like every time I take a phone call, if it's from an agent or a farmer, I put myself back in that combine or in that tractor, and I think about looking out the back window of the tractor saying, you know what, he's right. I have an opportunity to relate back to what that farmer is actually going through, or when they're out there combining, they say the moisture is too wet, the quality is not good enough. I can relate to that from growing up on a farm and living it with my family.
With expertise like this, it's hard to tell our people from our policyholders. At Great American, we don't just insure it, we live it. See more stories online at gaig.com/we live it.